Hi, it's Tom from Lone Horizons, and welcome to the start of a new actual play series on the channel. This is 2D6 Dungeon from DR Games, I think. Yeah, DR Games. It's a game by Toby Lancaster, and he actually emailed me to see if I wanted a copy of this to check it out for the channel. And when I got the email, I saw the sender was Toby Lancaster, and I thought, why is Toby Lancaster emailing me? Isn't he that little guy from Captain America and the really, really good horror film Berberian Sound Studio? And obviously, no, I was wrong. That's Toby Jones. Toby Lancaster is a different Toby. Yeah, he was really, really generous and sent me a whole load of stuff. He even sent me a couple of other ones of his games as well, which I'm going to hopefully do a channel update video, like a seasonal channel update video soon, and go through several bits and pieces and news and things that I'd like to cover next on the channel, which should be fun. So I'm going to cover them there. But for now, this is 2D6 Dungeon. He has sent me the core rule book here. He has sent me the cards that come with it, which come in a really, really nice case like this. The Mithras cards, combat cards that I bought a while ago, they just come in a plain blank cardboard box. It's not printed like this. This is really good quality, and there's loads of them, as you can see. And we've also got the Layers Omnibus, which is the Layers expansion, and I haven't read this whole book or anything, but I think this is kind of a more sort of designed dungeon crawl expansion, where I think it's less randomized and it has more of a structure to it. And we'll do a kind of like maybe a one-off video on that, but the main series I'll play through 2D6 Dungeon as normal, so you can see what it's like if you just buy the base game. I've also got these two bookmarks. I'm not sure if they come with the book with just the core rules, or if you get them separately with something else. And he's even sent the unique dice that are useful for the game. You don't have to get these dice. They just make it a bit quicker and easier to play the game. I've got 2d6s and d3 here, which we may need to use alongside these ones. But here you can see they're all d6s. You've got the primary die and the secondary die that are the main ones. And then this is really nice to have. It's the room generation dice. So this is like the X and Y dimensions for measuring rooms as you encounter them. And then this is the number of exits die. So you roll that. If you don't have these custom ones, you just roll a normal one and look it up on a table to see how many exits to the room there are when you're generating the dungeon. So those are really nice. They're good quality dice as well. I don't know if you can sort of hear that, but they're not all too lightweight like some cheap dice you can get are. So before we get into it, I will just say I'm planning to keep this series of videos quite short. Not the series itself, but the individual videos. Because if you are a fan of the channel, you'll know I like to do kind of long and rambling videos. And the main actual play series that I've got, which is Solo Dungeon Crawl Classics, the episodes often go on for like an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. And it takes me ages to edit them. So I want to kind of do a more sort of streamlined approach to this. It is a more streamlined game. It's not a full RPG. You could play it as an RPG, like a solo RPG, but it is a solo dungeon crawler along the same lines as 4 Against Darkness, if you've played that. It's great for just picking it up, having a go on it. If you've got like 20 minutes, you can get quite a lot done. If you've got 2 hours, you could get loads done. And you can pick it up and put it down, carry on where you left off quite easily. Because I've been, shamefully, Toby sent me this in the spring, and I have been playing it in secret over the summer, and it's taken me this long to actually get round to shooting this video. So sorry about that, but yeah, I do have a bit of experience playing it now, which is good, I think, for doing a video on it. So we're going to get started, but I've just realised I have forgotten to print a new character sheet. So let's go away and do that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here's the character sheet. Unfortunately, one little negative thing I have to say is the character sheet takes up 2 A4 sheets if you print it. It's actually like 4 pages in this book. And I always prefer it when a character sheet is only one sheet of A4. But, you know, that's just a minor gripe. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of. It looks like, if you like minimalist games, it looks like there's a lot of stuff on here, but when you actually start playing it, it's not so bad, really. It's pretty good. The other thing I wanted to mention, well, firstly, I wanted to mention I've got a cold, and that's another reason to keep this video shorter than usual, because the longer I go on for, the worse my voice will get and the worse I'll feel at the end of it. So I'm aiming for like 30 minutes or something. I wanted to talk about the print quality of this, just so that you know, if you buy this, you know what you're getting. It's really nice. This is the spiral bound edition of the book, of the core rule book. This also contains the tables codex, which I think in an earlier edition was a separate book or something. Because it does mention in here that it's a separate book, which confused me to begin with, because I thought he had forgotten to send me one of the books or something like that. There's the spiral bound one, paperback, hardback, and then on the DR Games website there are some really nice looking faux leather special editions as well, where if you play the game a lot and you really like it, that would probably be worth getting. But this is a really nice edition because it lies flat on the table, and wow, look at that, Gracarda the core. That's one of the gods that you can worship in this. She looks like one of my neighbours, actually. In here there are a lot of tables. You're going to be that's something that may put you off if you have a look at how many tables there are in the tables codex and how much text is crammed into them. That might put some people off, but having this as a spiral bound book does mean that it's really nice and easy to just reference something in a table. Having this laying flat on your desktop while you do so really makes a difference. Okay, I'll put the Layers Omnibus to one side as we don't need it for today, and let's get on with character creation. In terms of the rules, I'm not making kind of a how-to video on how to play this game. This is an actual play series where I'll mention the rules as they come up and hopefully give you enough info on the rules for you to be able to follow what's happening. Because there are some really nice little things about the combat rules in this that work really well, but could be quite complicated if I don't explain it. But I'm not going to dwell on things and go off on diversions into the rulebook explaining every little detail that's in there. So what is that? That is on generating dungeon rooms at the moment. We need to go back to creating an adventurer. Here we go. So the first thing to know about characters in this is there are no classes. It's classless, and you are basically an adventurer who has a weapon, fights with a weapon, going into the dungeon to make your fortune, or for whatever reason you want to go in there. You get to use magic scrolls and magic potions, but you don't cast spells or anything like that. You get to use Favour of the Gods. I haven't really encountered that while I've been playing it so far, so I'll need to read the rules on that and how that affects the gameplay and what kind of things you can do with that. But yeah, you're basically someone that has a weapon and fights monsters. We are going to be Pip, who is being resurrected. I can't actually remember if he died at the end of the video, actually, from the video I did on Tunnel Goons solo, which was really fun, where I used a really nice dungeon generator that used a dice drop method with d6s. I'll put a link to Pip's other video in the description of this video as well. All you need to know about Pip is he uses a sword and he looks like Link from Legend of Zelda. And I think I named him Pip after Pip from the Grail Quest series of game books by J.H. Brennan that I read when I was a kid, and I never finished any of them because they were way harder than fighting fantasy. Anyway, he's going to be level 1 to start with. Everyone starts with 10 health points. I think I'm going to end up calling them hit points a lot. There's no maximum health points box on the character sheet, so I just make one like that and put 10 there. You have 0 XP to start off with. Let's see what else we need to put in here. +2 in the shift box. Now that is a combat mechanic, gameplay mechanic. I'm not going to explain it here because it will slow everything down and we might not even get any combat in this first video, right? But we'll explain it when we get to the combat. Put +1 in the discipline box. I can't remember what discipline is right now. And 0 for precision. Can't remember what that is either. Probably doesn't matter because we don't have any of it. Right, and then now you need to select a weapon. Choose either a longsword, great axe, or heavy mace, and write this in your weapon box. So that's interesting, isn't it? You get 3 options for weapons. Pip always uses a sword, so he's going to have a longsword. Each weapon is also blessed by the Zegor priests to damage undead. That's interesting. So in this world, to damage the undead, your weapon has to be blessed. Let's see. Pick 2 starting maneuvers to use during combat from the level 1 maneuvers for your chosen weapon and add these to the maneuvers section on your character sheet. Okay, so we've got to find the maneuvers tables. There is right at the back of the book. Look at that. That's a really nice back cover. It shows a game in progress. It's really nice. Look, these enemies that they're fighting, they're just tracking their hit points by writing them on the map. Okay, let's see. This is the tables index. And this, I didn't discover this for quite a while, actually, and I stupidly was sort of just flicking through all the tables codex itself, trying to find the exact one I needed. It was stupid. So, here we go, where this is the first example of trying to find the right table. Where is it? I was playing this quite recently and I found it. Weapon maneuvers table 1. It's near the end because of W and it being alphabetical. Page 70. Oh wait, does that apply here? Are these page numbers all... Oh, I don't know. Are these page numbers running from the start of the book? I think they're not, actually. Just thinking, basically what I'm saying is these used to be 2 books and they've been put together. So are the page numbers correct in here? Yes, they are, because this is the Weapon Maneuvers Table 1. All right. So we need to choose 2 weapon maneuvers that we will be able to do with our longsword. These are moves that you choose in combat each time you make an attack. I'm not going to go into detail about the combat rules so far, as I said before, but let's see. Longsword, level 1 maneuvers, not level of adventurer, just level of the maneuver. So let's see. I think I know which ones I'm going for. I'm imagining him as being a kind of fencer type fighter. Let's give him a thrust, d6 damage. Okay, so first one we will write thrust there. Modifier d6, that's damage basically. And the dice set is 3, 2. So I'm going to write 3, 2 in there like that. Don't worry about that for now. We'll go into it in a fight. Carving blow is also d6. Biting stroke, d6 plus 1. Right, That sounds nice, actually. Incisive cut, d6+1. That sounds very precise. All right, so like kind of thing a fencer can do. Incisive cut. I did about 10 years ago. I did a year. I think it was about a year of fencing classes 3 times a week, and it was really fun. So that is dice set 5-2. I wasn't really good at it or anything, but it got me really fit temporarily until I stopped. It was great. Anyway, that is our 2 maneuvers done. So incisive cuts damage is d6+1, so that's a stronger attack for when we want to make one. Okay, so we got our maneuvers. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, this says you can't just pick up any weapon in the dungeon and expect to know its intricacies, so you stick to what you know best and wield the same weapon throughout your adventure. Years of training have taught you how to use it with a decent level of skill. At higher levels, you can have up to a maximum of 3 maneuvers at any one time, which you may swap out for more damaging options when you gain a level. Okay. Alright, now we choose 1 piece of armour from the starting armour table. Okay, now I am going to stick with what I had last time I played, a jerkin. I think it's like a sort of sleeveless leather waistcoat thing. So I will write that down, jerkin. The dice set for the jerkin is 4, and it does -1 damage. We'll go into that later. You can wear up to 3 pieces of armour, but you can't wear ones that cover the same part of the body, such as a jacket, pair of gauntlets, 2 shields or plates. You start with a flint and steel for lighting fires. Okay, these are all in your inventory over here. These are all small items, I think. That's what I'm going with. So I'm going to write these down. Flint and steel. A lantern. Whoops. A lantern which we won't need straight away because the human ancestry dungeon that we are exploring, which is the default dungeon setting, dungeon type for the core rules, all the rooms are lit with torches and things on the walls because there are going to be humans living there. 3 rations. I'll put rations times 3. A pouch. And a wax sealing kit for making potion bombs. That sounds good, doesn't it? And a large backpack for carrying all your loot and items. I wonder if the large backpack should come under large and heavy items. I would say it should, right? Because it's large. You have been taught the arcane runes of magic and so can read magic scrolls. Select 1 scroll from the starting scrolls table and write it in the magic scrolls section on the sheet. See the magic scroll table in the tables codex for more details. Okay, so you've got Scroll of Balance, increases discipline and magical focus for a time. Scroll of Mental Whip, a damaging psychic attack. Scroll of Reflexes, increases combat ability for a time. Scroll of Melt Metal, destroys 1 lock or armor-related interrupt on an enemy. That will make sense when we get to the combat rules. All right, I think Scroll of Reflexes would be good for Pip because he's a fencer. He's really focused on his combat abilities, so that increases your combat ability for a time. So magic scrolls are down here. See, most of this is just different bits of your inventory, really. It's not that complex. Scroll of reflexes. Maybe I'll just put reflexes because that will fit in the box. Let's look up this table and see what that means. Here it is. Starting scroll table 1. +1 shift for 1 combat scroll of reflexes. Okay. Effect modifier +1 shift. And, oh, 1 +1 shift. And yeah, I will explain that later. Lost my page now. You have to refer to the rule book quite a lot in this. So get used to that. It's not the kind of game where you just memorize the rules after a while and you can play it with your eyes closed. You really do have to keep looking things up, especially on tables. Okay, on top of this, the village healer has given you a potion of healing, which can restore 10 hit points. Write this in the magic potions box on the character sheet. Okay, so healing. And this is +10 health points, not hit points. I'm definitely going to keep calling them hit points by mistake. Okay, so you can carry up to 5 potions. Yeah, level is 1, experience points are 1. Here's the adventurer levels table. I don't think there's much point going over all of this now, except to level up to level 2, we need 100 XP. And you get titles for your level. So I'm a raw adventurer right now. That's nice. Okay, so I think this is all we need to know. Leveling up, you instantly gain 10 hit points, and your baseline hit points total increases by 10 as well. So you heal 10 hit points, and you gain 10 maximum hit points. So that's really good. Your other stats may also increase based on the adventurer levels table above, and you may gain a maneuver. Okay. If you level up during combat with 2 or more enemies, adjust the stats instantly during the fight as if a surge of energy passes through you. That's quite nice. A lot of this is quite gamey, if that makes sense, but it's that kind of game. So it's good. It works in this context. Okay, there's other stuff here. Death. You die at 0 hit points. Well, you go unconscious at 0 hit points. If you're fighting an enemy, they will just finish you off and you're dead. If you die from things like poison or something like that, well, you don't die instantly. You go unconscious and then you roll on Ep.1, which is one of the tables. All the tables have these acronyms, which are sometimes quite funny sounding when you say them out loud. And you do what it says there. So you might get a chance. I can't really remember. I haven't really read it. I haven't read ahead on the tables to find out what kind of things can happen to me in the future in this, because it's sort of spoilery. Okay, so yeah, this is all good. I think we're almost ready to go into the dungeon. So, like 4 Against Darkness, a game I haven't played on the channel, but I have played quite a lot of. You roll each room as you discover it, and you encounter enemies based on die rolls as well. Let's get the cards out, because we're going to need them pretty soon. This is really nice. I think if you've got the money, right, I think you should go all in with this game, because whenever there's cards involved in a game, I always think it feels really nice to just physically shuffle through them and hold them in your hands. And like with creature cards, okay, I don't want a massive spoiler. Let's see, a grey anchorite. I feel like this is the guy. This is the grey anchorite here in my hand, and he's there on the table in front of me in a way that enemies aren't normally in RPGs. When you're playing other games that don't have cards. These are all creature cards. So there's loads of them. That whole stack there is all creatures, which is really nice to know that there's that many creatures in the dungeon, potentially. These reference cards are very useful while playing, and I'm going to lay them out here somewhere. Here we go. This one is quite important. This is where these 2d6s will come in handy, because you use them as counters. And then we've got the combat quick reference cards 1 to 3 there. So we'll put them like that. The others we might not need today. Herb cards, god cards. They're those gods that we mentioned. Oh, more creature cards. Wow, look at that. And another thing about this kind of game, right, is you could probably adapt these creatures into other rules systems if you wanted. It probably wouldn't be that hard if you've got a solo RPG you play a lot, or any RPG, and you just want inspiration for monsters. Let's get one at random. The Banished. Banished from the domain level to the crypt levels for heinous crimes, these tortured beings are renowned grisly cannibals, desperate but unable to escape the domain of the dead. Wow, so they're like kind of horrible underground dwelling cannibals. That kind of thing is just really useful resource for inspiration in other games. You've also got a dungeon generator right here. If you wanted to use it with another rule set, you could. So, you know, like all those dungeon generator books that you can get on Drivethru RPG and stuff, you've just bought one along with this game. This just shows the different levels of the human ancestry dungeon. Level 1 is called the entry. Okay, so let's get started by generating the entry room, and then picking a way to go and generating the next room of the dungeon. And then I think after we encounter anything in there, that will be the end of this video. So firstly, the game recommends that you get a grid of dot paper and you draw the outer boundary of the dungeon. It recommends having at least 20 by 20 squares, but the bigger the better. It's recommended to make it as large as possible. I've got something like 18 by 27 here, and this will be this first floor of the dungeon. It's possible to generate some pretty big rooms as well, so we could get through this floor quite quickly. And I don't know kind of how balanced it is in terms of like how many experience points you're likely to get on each floor of the dungeon, and what character level you should be when you reach the next floor and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll just find out. So firstly, we need to draw the entrance room. We do generate the size of the entrance room, actually. And the way you do that is, no, not with those dice. You use these nice custom ones. I mean, you could say these are a bit pointless because they're literally just D6s with an X and a Y on them. But if you have these, it just really makes you feel more like you're playing a game that comes with all these pieces and stuff, like when you get a board game or something. It's quite nice. So we are going to roll the dimensions of the entrance room. So that is 1 by 5. That is actually a corridor because it's only 1 wide. Let's see what it says if you roll a corridor for the entrance room. Okay, so it says there's always an area of at least 6 squares and no more than 12. If you roll under or over this, make it 6. So this would be 5 squares, so it needs to be 6. So it could be a corridor then. Oops. It could be a corridor. It has 3 exits, which are all archways. And as we can see here, that's 3 exits in addition to the entrance to the dungeon. Okay, well, yeah, I guess it's a corridor then. Yeah, all right. So it's going to be a corridor that is 6 squares in length. So firstly, I decided to use a ruler for this. You do it at the base of the grid, like this. So it would be here. And it's going to have 3 exits, and it's going to be from here, not from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're going to have another exit here like this. These exits are archways that you walk through. So it's represented this way. One of the bookmarks has all the symbols that you can use for different exit types, which is pretty useful to have there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just put them opposite each other, these 2 exits, like this. So these are all archways in the entrance room. Okay, so that's a pretty different entrance room to ones that I've had before. Right, so Pip comes into the entrance room. I'll just put exit down here. I guess that's like a flight of stairs up, right? So let's draw that. So that would be up. And we come to this crossroads here, and we need to decide where to go. Let's try and kind of logically explore the whole floor of the dungeon, starting over here in the west. So if we go west here, then we can roll for this next room, because there's always nothing in the entrance room. So let's roll these again. So that is 2 by 2, and we rolled a double, okay? So when that happens, you roll both dice again and add them together. So that was a 2 by 2. Oh, that's another. Oh, no, it's not another double. Is it? No, it is. Yeah. Do you just keep doing that? Wow. Oh, no, if you roll a second double, it does not mean you roll again. So it's not like exploding doubles. All right, so that will be 8 by 8. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've only got 7 grid squares there, that way. Okay. That's fine. So it's actually going to be 8 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and wow, that's a big room, isn't it? We need to determine how many exits there are from here as well. Let's see. So we roll this dice here. There's 1. Okay, so it has to be in this northern wall here. So for now, because we don't know what type of exit it is, I'm just going to leave a blank space in that wall. Right. So we've got a large room. If a double roll results in a room that is 32 squares or larger, the space is considered to be a large room, and then you roll on a different room for that. So what was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 8. So what is that? Hey Siri, what's 7 times 8?
7 times 8 is 56.
That's 56. Right, yeah, that is a large room. So now we look on the level large rooms table, such as L1, LR. So yeah, it will be level 1, LR. Okay, so let's look up that table in the index. So there's level 1 rooms, but we want L1, LR. L1R, L1... Wow, there it is, 97. So we will read this entry here. All right, and what I normally do with the tables, because they're quite dense, right, is I will place the bookmark and read it that way when we roll. All right, so what is this? This is a 2d6 roll, okay? You add them together. You do get d66 type of rolls as well sometimes on tables in here, which is where you read 1 die as the tens and 1 as the units. So that is 6. A fountain room. In the centre is an ornate fountain bubbling with clear water. It is dedicated to a god and carved in their form. Roll on GOT1. You can make an offering for 1 favour point, that is. And that is to do with rules to do with the gods and getting their favour. So the exits are archways. That's good to know. So that's the same as the entrance room. Looks like that. Right. Roll on GOT1. Okay, so we've got to find table GOT1. Let's see. I imagine some of you, that's God table 1. Okay, 72. Some of you might be thinking, this is a lot of looking up tables. And yeah, it is. Oh, that's weird. God table 1, 72. Sorry, not 71. It is a lot of looking up things on tables. But trust me, because I've played this quite a bit, the more you play, the faster it gets, because you realise that you're looking up on the same tables quite often. Okay, God Table 1. I think we're just finding out which god this is dedicated to. 6. Radacina the Redix. Okay. Before we go further, let's draw the fountain in here, right? There we go. Fountain. And I'll just write the god's name that it's dedicated to. Radacina the Redix. I don't know what that means. We've got the god cards here, so let's have a look. Radacina the Redix. Looks like a woman with kind of a neck made of roots. All right, so Radacina knows the roots that run the earth with their life. If you roll below 1 when calling for the favour of the god, they appear and grant a gift as well as the favour. So she appears as a beautiful young woman covered in roots and run through with veins. Her gift, she hands you 3 seeds and touches your forehead. Each seed will restore you to full health. Okay, and her favoured items are seeds, roots, mushrooms, vegetables, acorns, which give you +1 favour points with her, I think, and pearls, which give you +2. So we can look this up later because I don't actually have anything on me, do I, yet? So let me just find that same large room table again, 97. Okay. Whoops. There's a load of noisy people walking past outside. Hopefully they're not picked up by the microphone. All right, so you can make an offering for 1 favour point. So I think what this means, from memory, is if we want to make an offering of one of the things that she likes by putting it in the fountain, then we will gain a favour point with her. I'm not going to... I'll read those rules before the next video, so that next time, if we want to come back here and do that, we know what to do. Okay, but that is the first room sorted. No monsters in there, so no combat today. We've made a start. I do have some little kind of clear plastic reusable stickers that I like to use to represent where I am on a dungeon map. Where my character is. So I'll look for them before next time and stick Pip down here in the fountain room. But yeah, anyway, we explored our first room with Pip. Not much happened, but we got off to a good start, I think. And I would love to carry on playing tonight, but so that I can get the video online faster, I'm going to stop there. And we will carry on next time. So hope you enjoyed this. This is 2D6 Dungeon. I will put a link to the game on, I guess, Drivethru RPG, and I'll make it an affiliate link. So if you buy it on there, then I will get a tiny bit of commission from it. I recommend it. It's really good. I'm not just saying that because I was sent it for free. I have actually spent quite a lot of time playing it. In fact, wait a second. Yeah, here's my game on it. Here's the map from my game. So you can see I explored quite a bit of this dungeon. This is quite a large area I've given myself to explore. Larger than what we've got here, I think. But yeah, that was a really fun game going on there. So yeah, if you want to get it, I'll put links in the description. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.